I've got some weight loss hacks you haven't heard, and we are talking about deuterium today. So if you don't know what that's all about, I'm going to explain that, and deuterium lowering tips. Now, I'm sure you all know that water is H2O, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. But did you know that hydrogen has different forms? So regular hydrogen only has a proton, it does not have a neutron. But heavy hydrogen is called deuterium, and it's an isotope of that hydrogen, and it contains a proton and a neutron in its nucleus. And that extra neutron doubles the mass of the hydrogen atom, therefore making a water that contains that deuterium instead of regular hydrogen a heavier water. Now, the problem with that deuterium is that it can mess up our proton cycling in our ATPase motors of the mitochondria, and that means less energy production. You've heard of ATP production in the mitochondria. That's going to slow down because of that heavy hydrogen. That deuterium is going to slow down those nanomotors. Now, your body is remarkable in the fact that it makes a deuterium depleted water on its own in the mitochondria, and that is very essential to have that natural sunlight exposure on your skin in order for your mitochondria to be able to do that. And that's why you've heard me say in so many different videos about natural sunlight exposure. It is one of the best things that you can do for your overall health, and of course for longevity, and for your mitochondrial function and for your energy production, because of making that deuterium depleted water internally. Now, let's go through some of the tips to actually lower deuterium in your body, because if you've got too much of that deuterium, this is going to cause the aging process and will make you gain more weight. Okay, tip number 1 is to actually increase your fat intake. So the body makes 1.1 kilos of deuterium depleted metabolic water for every 1 kilogram of fat that you're actually consuming. This is one of the reasons why camels do so well in the desert when they don't have access to drinking water, because they store what in their humps? Well, it's fat, and they convert that fat into that metabolic water so that they can survive. Now, some healthy fats, just as a reminder, I love olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter is fantastic, ghee, lots of nuts and seeds. This is a great way to help your body from those healthy fats to make more deuterium depleted water internally. Okay, tip number 2 is to consume more grass-fed meat sources. Now, the problem here with grain-fed animals is that that feed can be, and usually is, higher in that deuterium, and that deuterium is going to get into that animal product. So if you are not a vegetarian, of course, and you're eating animal-based foods, make sure that they are grass-fed. Okay, number 3, another way to lower that deuterium is to eat wild-caught fish. And much like, you know, our grass-fed meat sources, wild-caught fish is going to be better because farmed fish may be fed a diet that's high in deuterium, therefore more deuterium getting into that fish. Okay, number 4, always opt for free range and pasture raised poultry. So again, because of the feed and what's going into that chicken or turkey or other fowl, this is something that you definitely want to make sure that it's lower in deuterium. Okay, number 5, green leafy vegetables tend to be naturally lower in deuterium. Fruits, not so much. So fruits can be higher and concentrate that deuterium. So eating more green leafies, especially when you're trying to deplete that deuterium, really important for your overall health. Okay, number 6 is to limit the grains. So the question comes up when you're trying to lose weight and people say, okay, stop eating the grains or have less grains. Is it because the grains have the carbohydrates and that's why you're gaining the weight? Or is it because of the deuterium? So this is a question that I'm asking you just to think about, because we often don't think of it from the deuterium perspective. And we know that grains are always high in that deuterium. They concentrate that deuterium. So by eating less grains, you're going to lower that deuterium content in your body. And number 7, avoid synthetic supplements. So most synthetic supplements that are made in a laboratory from unnatural ingredients are going to be higher in deuterium compared to whole food supplements that come from nature, that come from green leaves and herbal medicines. Of course, very, very different concept in terms of how you're getting in that supplementation in a low deuterium way. Now, for a list of other side effects of synthetic vitamins, please check out my video, Most Common Side Effects of Synthetic Vitamins and Supplements. I'll see you there.